Hey, what is up everyone, Blade here, and welcome back to another video of Persona 5X. Inside today's video, guys, we're going to be going over the stream and all the summarized news here, mainly to tell you guys exactly what happened in a condensed time frame. So if you guys are interested in this, be sure to sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're going to get straight into it. So this is going to be a little bit quick here because I am crunched on time. I do have to go in a little bit of time. Luckily, of course, we have P5X News and Info who posted a lot of stuff here, while also my man NAJOX came in clutch. Now I am very short on time, so I'm trying to be very quick about how I can do this here. So I do apologize if certain things look a little bit janky, but I'm trying to get this done for you guys, so of course do appreciate that a little bit. But we have, of course, all the information that happened in the stream here, in which they gave us a little bit of a summary of what's going to end up happening for 2.5 update. This was the first thing that we ended up seeing, which was, of course, the new Phantom Idol being Cherish. We have Puppets Final Synergy, Tycoon, a Velvet Trials update, and some in-game content. Now, although this was the only thing that we saw at first, there are more things they ended up talking about, which was for 2.6. So don't worry, this isn't the only thing that you're going to see here. But first things first that I want to go over is the 2.5 update things here. We already know Cherish's release is going to be happening. And if we go ahead and take a look-see, which actually they haven't even posted it yet, so I guess I'll just have to say it for you guys. With Cherish's update here, we are going to be in a few things. Now, if I thought about NAJOX posting this a little bit here, we had, of course, some new buffs for him. Now, the buffs for Cherish himself wasn't too crazy. If anything, they were pretty decent. Skill 1, you're still not going to be using. Instead of it being a 1% for damage taken, it's now being 2%. The big one is actually going to come from not only just a little bit on the skill 3, but mainly the talent, which is for Flower Knight's Devotion. Skill 3 itself got buffed to 2.9%. We are also now getting granted a shield whenever, of course, when he does his first talent, we also have a shield granted to us. We get elemental resistance by 48%, which is always nice. But the Knight's Devotion one is the big one here, because whenever he is not KO'd, any elemental resistance to avoid a curse, or at least any type of ally, whenever they're able to avoid this said thing here, they're able to grant a certain buff. Now, these buffs can be stacked up to 1, 2, or 3 respectively. Each of the stacks will then increase the ally's damage by 10% for 2 whole turns, and it can be stacked 3 whole times, meaning you're able to get a huge amount of damage buff off this, and you're also getting a critical damage buff by 20% for 2 whole turns. This is actually pretty decent. I think it's going to be a huge one. I don't think it's actually going to be big enough to make this character like a must summon or anything like that. But for the people who are actually going to summon for him, it's definitely going to be a nice thing to go for. The A1 and A2 also got buffed, as well as the A6. So I'm being honest for you guys, with this character, yes, we do know he's in a standard 6-month jail period here. But I wouldn't even be looking at these awarenesses in general. Just know that they did get buffed, and you can see them on the screen here, but they're probably just not worth going for if I'm being dead honest to you. Now, next thing that we wanted to go over, luckily for the man, NAJOX placing it right here for me as well. We already know Cherish synergy update that's going to be happening. The puppet synergy update, for a lot of you guys who have been waiting on puppets, you will be able to do that. Now, there is apparently a Thieves secret key available in the Cognition shop for 40 Violet Cognigems. I don't know exactly what that one is here, because at the time I still was getting ready to like leave, so right now I'm still kind of confused on what that's going to be for. But apparently we're going to be having a whole deal with a secret key, which, if it's the key I think it is, it's probably for like the events that you miss, like Mesa's event. You're able to unlock it and do those certain missions and stuff. It might be those type of things here. But another thing that NAJOX ended up giving me here is says that we have the Tycoon game mode. For a lot of you guys who don't know what the Tycoon game mode is, it is a card game that a lot of you guys are going to be playing, kind of like Uno itself, and it's pretty darn fun. It's one of the few little game modes that I do enjoy. My only downside about it is, oh, and actually he posted right here 11 minutes ago too. The only downside about it is, unfortunately, it does not have its private lobbies, which is still a little bit of a sad little thing that's going to happen there. But we can't really do too much about that as well. So it is kind of sad, but it is what it is. Next, we have, of course, a few other buffs that end up happening, or a few other things that's going to be coming out. And one of these things are going to be the trial of Thorns against Seth and Trumpeter. Now, Seth and Trumpeter are going to have their own little trial of Thorns here, much like, of course, the Shura that we ended up facing here. You're going to need to have those buffs and debuffs in check. and by doing so here, you'll be able to knock them on out, get up all your rewards out of there, getting a lot of joy medals, which can help you exchange for the next thing we're going to talk about, being the Starry Compass. Now the Starry Compass here is another weapon for wonder, and I will say this is hands down probably one of the best weapons you can invest into. Starry Compass itself increases your physical attack, or at least your attack at a 6 at 56%. And then of course, once you do have Aura, aka Universal Astrolabe, you will gain the following effects. 5 stacks of this will decrease the foe's defense by 22%. 10 stacks of this will increase the party elemental accuracy by 18%. And 15 stacks of this will increase the party's psychonesis, or just psi damage, by 12%. Now at the start of the battle, you gain 10 of these stacks here, so no matter what, you're gonna have those first 2 ones immediately, and each time damage is dealt to a foe, you will gain 1 stack. At the end of the turn, you also will end up losing 5 whole stacks, so of course you're gonna have to figure out a way to be a little bit creative with customizing a lot of this damage here. But more or less, it's meant to be for like an AoE team and for haru teams here, so you can see how you'll get up those stacks pretty easily based on the amount of AoE damage you're going to be dealing to foes, so you will understand how to get those up pretty quickly. But it's a really good dagger. I do advise a lot of people to invest into it, so surely do so. Now, next thing we are going to go over here is going to be Sandephalon, VISHNU, and SHIVA. These are going to be the new personas that I really did want to see. I talked about it yesterday, and well, in yesterday's video. These personas, you truly want to go ahead and get them because they are insanely good, or at least VISHNU and SHIVA are insanely good. You can probably skip out on Sandephalon, or I keep saying that freaking wrong. I know I'm saying that wrong. I think I'm thinking of a Pokemon, it starts with a B, but I know what I'm saying there. But just know S persona there. We have VISHNU and SHIVA. They're going to be the big ones. Get them too, guaranteed. If you are mainly trying to prepare for haru, get SHIVA. But VISHNU does pair with pretty much anyone because he is a single target defense down shredder, so do surely think about that. The other thing that we get in 2.5 is 7 platinum tickets login bonus, which is awesome. Now 2.6, which came out of nowhere that I was thinking about, I knew they were going to announce it, but I didn't think exactly what all they were going to announce here. But we got announced a few things on my screen. You guys can already see it here. We got a Noir skin here as well, being the maid outfit, which actually is not on TW and KR as well. But alongside of this, we got some heavy buffs for her with the skill 1 and skill 3. Now this is kind of interesting because the skill 1 and skill 3 did not need any more buffs. She was already really broken. The fact that they ended up giving her this is kind of insane. So she has 75.8% and 142% for both her skill 1 and skill 3, which is insanely freaking good for her. Crossfate was also talked about being at least the extra story for her. So if you guys have not done Futaba's story, be sure to do her story. It will be this it will be out in 2.6. We do have, of course, a side quest that's going to be happening. Metro of Desire got buffed, I think, to 140 stages instead of the 120 that we ended up having beforehand, so that's going to be a huge update there. A spin to win raffle is coming out. We also have a 7 millicoin login bonus. Then the Kagura bells, or the prayers release, ended up happening. Now for a lot of you guys, y'all aren't going to know exactly what that is, so I am going to show this on the screen here. But the Kagura bells are these things right here. If you go ahead and look immediately here, you'll be able to get these things from either certain weekly missions. You can get them just from random things itself, and by using them, you have a chance of getting any of those things in this selection here. Some things are stamina, some of it is cash, some of it's even artifacts, but what we really want is that top box in the middle, which is a actual shard or a dupe for certain characters. Now these characters are going to be tied to standard characters that I do know of. I don't think they're going to have the limited characters such as like Joker in them in there, but we do know that they're going to have mainly just the standard characters. Now whether they will be updated faster than the regular standard character jail on global, I do not know on that one. Just do know this comes in handy and it's very nice to have. Overall, we have a whole roadmap if you guys want to check this on out here, which shows you everything that's going to happen in 2.5 and 2.6 here. But with that in mind, y'all should let me know how y'all feel about this update and the stream in total as we go on throughout the day. For now, I gotta hurry up and close out. Thank you guys for watching, and peace on out.